Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, let's put on our analysis hats. Okay, that means our ability to analyze and read people. In this video, I'm going to analyze and read why this guy, his name is Israel Adesanya. Okay, all the information will be put in the description. Why this professional fighter, he is considered the best in the world. He's considered a legend. Why did he lose? We will have an analysis on this. And how does it help you? How does it benefit you? You who's watching, maybe you're not a fighter. You'll be like, hey, why the hell should I watch this video, man? I'm not a fighter. No, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from this guy. Lessons that will help you in life. Lessons that will help you become a better person, more competitive, more successful. And I always believe that you should learn from other people's mistakes, because if you make a mistake, there's a big price to pay, and then there is a duration. You lose years of your life. But if you learn from other people's mistake, you save time, effort, and money. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts and analysis why this guy, Israel Adesanya, why he lost, even though he was considered the best in the world. The fight took place yesterday, and here's the shocking bit. He was fighting this guy. His name is Sean Strickland. Okay. Now, Israel Adesanya is more like if you watch a Matrix movie, you know, the hero, and he can move slow motion and see you when you're throwing stuff. People compared him to Bruce Lee. He was that good. He's a Nigerian-born fighter who is settled down in New Zealand. I hope I got that right. He's 34 years old. Very young chap, huh? Not old. And what he has accomplished in his life is what 1% of the world's population would achieve. I mean, he's a multi-millionaire. From zero, from nothing, he became this. So, first and foremost, hats off and respect to him for being the world's best, for being crowned there, for being considered a legend. But now, the question that is on everyone's mind is, you're a legend. You are supposed to be infallible. He has destroyed muscular guys, big guys, people they predicted would destroy him. He has destroyed them in seconds, especially the biggest fights where Robert Whittaker, you can search this. I could not believe the way he manhandled this guy. I mean, he was supposed to be one of the toughest fighters. So this guy has accomplished so much. He defeated people nobody thought could be defeated. But now here's the funny thing. This guy was known as the last style bender, you know, that movie where, put magic powers and all that. So this guy, yesterday, he was supposed to fight another guy, American. His name is Sean Strickland. Now, Sean Strickland came from a broken home, was abused, would have been in jail. He's more like one of those, the term that is used, a redneck. He doesn't, his physique doesn't look like a fighter. He has hair all over here and there. And he won fights, he lost fights. Nobody gave him a winner's chance. In fact, the people who bet money, they had predicted that Israel Adesanya is a 700 plus favorite. In betting terms, I don't know much about betting, but this guy, Sean Strickland, was a 7-1 underdog. That means Israel Adesanya winning is 7 times greater than this guy winning. So if you would put $1 on Sean Strickland, $1, you'd get 7 times the returns. Nobody predicted, nobody believed. Even I myself, when people ask me, I said, he'll get knocked out in 30 seconds, man. He'll get knocked out in the first round. Okay, there were 5 rounds. So, and many people didn't even bother to watch this fight. Okay, there were many fights because they thought it's impossible. Impossible. To the shock and surprise of everybody, This guy who nobody predicted would win, who was like a hilly-billy kind of redneck, he not only defeated this guy, he beat him at his own game. Israel Adesanya is known to be a stand-up fighter. He stands, he doesn't take you to the ground, jiu-jitsu or wrestling. No, he stands up and boxes. He is at his prime. This guy beat him at his own game, at what he was number one at boxing, at Muay Thai, at kicking. Nobody could believe it. In fact, when I heard that he lost, when I saw the updates, live updates, I was shocked. And I was like, I have to see the fight. And yes, I could analyze in between the lines when they were fighting. They give the updates. I knew what was happening, which I'm going to share with you in my observations. So, true to my predictions, when I saw the fight, I knew exactly why did he lose. And this is why I want to share this with you. There's a lot of learnings here, a lot of learnings, whether you're young or whether you're old. There's a lot of learnings. And being a competitor myself, I was a public speaking competitor. I used to take psychological warfare. I used to push it to the extent where I would really hurt a lot of people to the point where it would harm. So I know what he tried to do and I know where it backfired. So this is what I want to share with you. All right. So I'll give you my thoughts and I'm giving you a little bit of background. I know it's a little bit of drag on. So you know what is happening, because if you're an MMA fighter, you know what it is. But if you're not, this introduction was very important. All right. So in case you're new to the channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist. I help people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, and parts of Middle East, that is Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. And I also teach them this competitive analysis that I'm sharing with you. People also book my sessions for personal or professional coaching. And, when people want to migrate to Canada, Australia, Europe, or parts of USA, because I have my contacts, connections there, I'm able to give you advice and guidance and information that normally people are afraid to put online. Anyway, details are put down below. So this is about me. Now, one of the key areas that I teach my students or my long-term clients is psychological warfare, is reading minds, is mind manipulation techniques. And I made sure that I gave this video and my analysis to some of them. And I'm making this video so they can learn. Okay. So I've written down the points. What were the points? Okay. First and foremost, there are 7 points, 7. The first thing you need to understand is Israel Adesanya is 34 years old, 34. He started being a competitor at a very early age, maybe 15 or all that. But here's the thing. You can be good at a sport if you start from the age of 3, you start learning music or chess or dancing. By the time you are 20, you have put 17 years of your life. That makes you a professional. That is why there are many youngsters who are 15 or 16. They are already called as prodigies. Well, they're a prodigy because they started practicing from the age of, 3, whatever, like a world-class athlete. But even though you can physically train yourself, mentally, it's a very big challenge. See, mentally, you can tell, okay, mentally focus, visualize, affirmation. But there's something called real world experience. Now, that is where Israel Adesanya is young and he's inexperienced about life. He doesn't know about marriage. He doesn't know about having children. He doesn't know about losing a loved one. He doesn't know, when you're 60, the experiences you have, life experiences, it's not theory. So Israel Adesanya is young and inexperienced. That's the first thing which you need to realize. And what is the learning experience for you from this first point is, even though people say, I have many years of experience or I have quality in those few years, no, you're wrong. If you're 20 years old, you cannot say that you know as much as a 60-year-old. A 60-year-old has more life experience. Maybe he is not as rich as you. Maybe he is not, he uses technology as much as you, but they've seen life. And these small things about life, from relationships, from emotional breakups to mental stress, that you cannot read and that you cannot get when you're young. So first is he's young and immature. The second one is, when he was exposed to fame, popularity, money, it's an amazing addiction, man. I have experienced the highs, not as much as him. I've experienced a lot of money experienced a lot of fame, popularity. My Coca-Cola ad went viral. You can check it. It's on YouTube. I started in Coca-Cola. I suddenly became very famous. It went to 750 million households across the globe. Then I spoke at TED Talks. I became more famous. Then I was featured on national television. This is all in Dubai. So that fame was like, oh, I'm famous. And people were actually, I found it very odd when people were asking me autograph in the airports. And I was like, huh, what? Autograph? Like, I really find it very odd, like sign stuff and all that. And then obviously you make money, especially when you never had money and all of a sudden just imagine $100,000 you're holding in your hand. $100,000. That's like you see Floyd Mayweather have a. But when you have you have only seen thousands and 100,000 US dollars you're holding in your hand. It feels very different, man. So imagine with the little success that I had, I became overconfident. This guy is having millions of dollars. He can go and buy the latest Lamborghini. He can buy the latest Rolls-Royce Phantom. He can buy 10 of them. That much power, that much fame, that much money, that much success. He's a celebrity. He's like a superstar in the mixed martial arts world. So don't you think he would be overconfident? And yes, exactly that is what he was. If you see the Embedded series, Embedded is the camera follows you before the fight to show what you're doing, and they show the best pieces. He actually was lecturing people. Believe say you can do anything. No matter what anyone says, I'm going to make a comeback. I'm invincible. Ha ha ha. That overconfidence was just oozing out, and especially when he would have these public conferences. Obviously, you have to face psychological warfare. He was sitting like this, and he was like, and that mannerisms is like, I'm invincible. I'm God. That overconfidence can really kill you. See, there are fighters or competitors who are humble. There are fighters who are little confident. Then there are ones who are cocky. And then there are ones who purposely, like Muhammad Ali, they will create a controversy. So I don't expect everyone to behave in a same manner, everyone to behave exactly the same. But when overconfidence gets to you, you overestimate your effort. And then your opponent or the people who are going to fight against you, you're giving them a chance to succeed. So the second value that I'd give you is be careful when you're overconfident. For a working class person, when you have a job, when you have a salary, when you have position in a multinational company and nobody else in your family has, or nobody else in your friends, it can go to your head. It has happened to me. It has happened to my family members. It has happened to my clients, friends. And your downfall will happen when you least expect. So second is overconfidence. Number 3, which I told you, is the pressures of life. He's only in his 30s. You can never think what will happen in your 60s. Like, I'll give you a very simple one, very, very simple one, which most of you have not thought about. Have you realized that as you get older, your physical body doesn't remain the same? Like, you'll get pain in your joints. When you just wake up in the morning, even getting up in the morning, it'll be paining your back. Even breathing becomes hard. Even going to the toilets. You might find this funny, but I actually had a client who's in his 40s, who's a bodybuilder, everything strong. And what he tells me is after he goes to the toilet, finishes everything, even if he went to the toilet, he sits down. If he sneezes, suddenly he urinates a little bit. He says, I don't know what is happening to my private parts. He's like, sometimes I laugh or I cough and saying, I'm just worried I might soil my trousers. He's saying my body is becoming weak because he was a bodybuilder. He took a lot of steroids and all that. And, his hand shakes like this. He has to hold it. And he's really worried. He's really afraid. Imagine being such a strong guy that even getting up from the chair, suddenly it pains him, that nerve ending damage. There are people who have even gone through, their memories, they're forgetting, they're having memory lapse, they're worried, are they getting some, brain related disease? We never think of all these things. Like, for years, I never told anyone this. I was I had hemorrhoids. I was literally bleeding. When I sit in the toilet, if you just open a small bottle of water and you start pouring water like this, blood was coming out that way from my body. And I used to be pale. By the time I was to count, because I lost so much of blood every time I went to the toilet. So we don't think about all this. I know of a very talented, very attractive woman who's in her 40s. She has multiple sclerosis. That means her body will become like stone. Very successful in education, in her career, money, health. She can't win. See, we don't think of all these things. Then there are other pressures of life, like one couple, very happy, very successful. They ended up with having an abnormal child. And they were left with the decision, abort this child or take care of this child. They decided to go ahead. Guess what? Now they have two abnormal children. You know how devastated they are? There are people who invested into the wrong business and ended up bankrupt, multi-millionaires who started from, zero and they reached that level. So what do? These are the realities of life. You even have situations where someone divorces you, someone you loved for so many years, you lose your mother, father. These are the realities of life people don't think about. So I just feel Israel Adesanya has not faced the real actual pressures of life. He just has one girlfriend who he broke up now. They're having a court case, but he has not seen the pressures of life. And one of the pressures is when he fights with people who are elder to him, they know his weaknesses as his immaturity, and that is where they would attack him. Number 4 is, remember, life is not just about muscles and fighting. Life is also about emotions and feelings. Life is also about mental, strength. Life is also about being clear about your vision, overcoming temptations. Many people don't think about that. So these are many areas that Israel has not been tested. Okay. And maybe even if he has been tested, maybe not to that extent. I'm just assuming I don't know every aspect of his life, but I'm telling you, this is where you can learn. Number 5. Oh, this one is the biggest one. See, Israel Adesanya, when he was a fighter, when he was up and coming, he was not famous, he was not rich. So his only focus was fighting. But once you become a champion, once you represent a brand, sponsors, and people and an organization, you have many assignments, you have many commitments. You have to go for press conferences, you have to go for radio interviews, you have to go for video interviews. He was featured on ESPN. He has to travel around the world. He has to represent brands. He has to open up shops. He has to sell merchandise. He has to be online. He has to, leverage the social media responsibilities. What happens is, before he had singularity of focus. This is a term I've used very much in my videos, singularity of focus. He was obsessed only about fighting. Now, it's like wide. It's no longer singularity of focus. It's his attention goes here, 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 here. So it's become a jack of all. And he has to do it. It's part of the game. He is a brand, he's a business, he's a businessman. So it's taking away a lot of his time, energy, effort. I'll tell you, just go for a bloody meeting and come back, you'll be exhausted. When I finish a session with a client, I get completely exhausted. Like, I make this video. By the time I finish my 3 videos and like 1.5 hour, I'm exhausted, man. I don't want to talk to a client. I don't want to talk to my wife, kid. I just want to sit alone, man. So imagine how much pressure he's facing. And on top of that, haters, trolls, and people. For me, why am I staying alone in Samui? Because I want to be alone away from all this. It's too much, man. It's too much. So before he had singularity of focus and obsession towards one thing, now it's too many things. Okay. And that is one of the reasons why he lost. Number 6 is, I think he's juggling too many projects. Yes, he has a brand manager. Yes, he has a trainer. Yes, he has a chef. Yes. But, you get up in the morning and you have a checklist of so many things, you'll go mad. That is why there are some fighters who remain they just remain invisible, like Fedor Emelianenko. You can Google search this guy. Nobody knows where he stays, what he's doing. Like, he's a Russian guy. Now he's retired. but nobody knows anything about him. And he was considered the most dangerous. You have people like Daniel Day-Lewis, who's a film actor, legend, is a legend, but nobody knows anything about him. He doesn't have a social media presence at all. And he's considered the greatest. I mean, if you see some of the stuff that he has done, he taught himself. There is this movie, My Left Foot. Daniel Day-Lewis is the only actor who taught himself how to write with his left foot, right with his left foot for the movie role. And he had to play the role of being a paraplegic. Just imagine. Can you think of writing, forget left foot, can you think of writing with your left hand? You would struggle. He taught himself how to write with his left foot. Even had instances where he has literally, like, Heath Ledger locked himself for months in a hotel to get psychotic. Nicolas Cage, for a movie role, had one of the scenes where they pulled out his tooth without anesthetic. Just imagine the pain. Daniel Day-Lewis even locked himself in a makeshift prison to get into the mind of being someone who was locked into a prison for years with no sound, no TV, no video, no nothing. So there are people who are so extreme, but they focus only on one thing. That is why, for me, I don't keep in touch with relatives, friends, going out, socializing, nothing. That's the only way I can focus. I don't know how some people do it. So in Israel Adesanya's case, I feel he has too many projects in hand. And last, if not the least, this one is the biggest one. If you see my previous videos, I've always said, given a choice between fame and money, I prefer money any day. Because when you bring fame, especially today in social media age, you get people asking you questions. They want to know about your personal life, professional life. Why did you say this? Why did you do this? Why do you talk to your... Jason Momoa was photographed with his kids. He was holding his kid. He just put his hand on his daughter like this for a photograph. And she just brushed it off. The internet went abuzz saying that, he's sexually touching her chest. Are you bloody mad? She's a small kid. She maybe had a mood swings. She doesn't want to come out with the father because, children want to play with their iPad or, their tablet. They want to sit at home. She doesn't want to be at a, gathering of adults. So obviously she must have been pissed off. How can you say something like that about her father? And Jason Momoa that actor, he didn't keep quiet. He found out online where this person was, and they found out in Brazil. He put a court case on him. He got him jacked. Just imagine people ask me, why do I behave in a way with my wife, with my kid? I'm supposed to give them a report. I'm supposed to treat my wife the way they want. Even though my wife is perfectly happy with me, people literally have sent my wife private messages to divorce me, leave me, because she would get something better. They don't know jack shit about me, my wife, and my kid. But they will make all these stories up online. People have even claimed that I've raped females. I have been part of the mafia. I have been jailed. They make up these stories, even though I have admitted I was jailed for half an hour, in jail for half an hour or 1 hour for shouting at an Arab bloke. They make this story, this narrative. They ignore the rest. He was jailed. I had falsely being accused by an employer, Indian employer, who was doing illegal stuff. When I reported him to the FBI, CIA, Interpol, whatever, he put a false claim on me, got me sent off from UAE with a ban, but I got the ban removed because it was fake. It was false. It was a false claim. So this is a story I give people, but they'll only cherry pick, he got banned. They don't say he got banned falsely or he removed the ban because it was false. No, he got banned, full stop. So it's like having a 3-hour podcast and you take 10 seconds from here, 10 seconds from here, 10 seconds from here, and you weave them together to give a totally new meaning. So we live in a day and age of social media where people are so psychotic. There are people who actually stalk me for months and years. Seriously, I made the previous video. This guy is just stalking me because I kicked him off my WhatsApp group. He makes videos. His life is not proper. His career is not proper. His love life, education, nothing is proper, but he's obsessed about me. And he lives in some bloody slums. Just imagine. There are people like that. There are even people who have traveled down all the way here to meet me. To meet me. For what? To have an argument with me. There are people who have threatened my daughter with rape, my 4-year-old daughter. They have called me up from their actual number. So when and imagine, my reach is so small compared to these global stars. If there are so many crazy people, for me, such a challenge. Imagine he has millions of followers. And on top of that, he has pissed them off with his attitude, with his ego, you piss people off. One is you have so many people. Another one is you piss people. And he's a young man. He's cocky and all that. You say fuck you to a country or crowd. Chael Sonnen, a fighter, Chael Sonnen, he did that in Brazil. Man, people wanted to kill him. And they had to employ special forces to help him get out of the country. So, number 7, the reason why Israel Adesanya lost is he has pissed off too many people and there are too many people trolling him, hating him. It's impossible, yeah. Anyway, see, the bottom line, what I'm telling you is when you're at the top, you'll have so many enemies. You'll have many people who want to pull you down. Be careful not to increase the chances for your failure. Play the game safe. Don't make it harder for you to succeed. And I think the biggest thing of all, last but not the least, for Israel, he was busy going on lecturing people about life, lecturing people about success, lecturing. Why are you doing that, man? Come on, you're just in your 30s. What are you lecturing people? Oh, you people were looking down on me. Fuck you. This is what I've done. I've experienced life more than you. Ha, ha, ha. When these interviews came, it was messed up, man. You lecturing life, you're pissing off people more. Like even me, I wanted him to lose. So, when you have so much of negativity flowing, see, overall, I'll tell you, he's a very accomplished young man, very accomplished. He has done a lot of things in life. But, once you reach the top, there's only one place to go. You can't go higher than Mount Everest. You can't climb higher than Mount Everest. Once you reach there, it's only downhill. The question is, how soon or how fast are you going to go down? So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. You let me know your thoughts, okay? Because I wanted to share something of value. You let me know your thoughts, whether you think I'm right or wrong. And I love to listen to what you have to say. Having said that, please give me your thoughts. And let me know, did you get anything of value through this video? Good, bad, ugly, comment down below. It's me signing off. Take care.